Congrats to Miami. The Heat closed out its series against the Atlanta Hawks last night, 97-94. No Jimmy Butler, no Kyle Lowry, no problem. The Heat still got the W, while Trae Young, an inefficient night, 11 points on 2 of 12 shooting as his season comes to an end. All right, Chris Broussard, you're now back with us. Chris, Skip has always contended that Trae is overrated. So what do you think? Do you agree?
I do agree. I think he is overrated. Now, there's a caveat in my case. I do think Trae is a legitimate star. I had him my third team All-NBA point guard this year, and I stand by that. I think he obviously led the league in points and assists. He carried them. Second half of the season, they played like on a 50-win pace. So he carried that team without a ton of help. So he is a star in my book. My problem is people were beginning to think of him as more than that. I'd heard talk that, maybe the Hawks got the best of Dallas when they made the trade, trade for Luka, and they got, Cam Reddish and as a first-round pick later on in that trade too. Or at the very least, people were saying both teams got what they needed. Atlanta got just what they needed in Trae. Dallas got just what they needed in Luka. No, the Hawks would have been better off with Luka Doncic. I heard people saying Trae is better than Ja Morant. No, Ja Morant is better than Trae Young. I heard people saying Trae should have been first-team All-NBA. All of that is overrating him. We saw what he did in New York last year in the playoffs. He put on his Reggie Miller impersonation, and it was great. But that was a bad Knicks team. And I think ultimately, like this series, guys, remember, Trae was horrible, and Kyle Lowry missed the last 2 games. And Jimmy Butler missed the last game. And so I know Miami's defense is great, but for him to play that poorly against some backups really highlights how bad he was. And ultimately, I think it's good for him because I think there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. And Trae, I think, was too cocky, too cute. And now he has to go back in the lab and work on his game and think about his shot selection. I think he needs to get in the weight room, get stronger, because that's what it's going to take for the playoffs. So I think ultimately it's good for him because he has been overrated to this point.
I disagree. I don't think he's overrated. I have him as a star. I never said he was a superstar. And you need more stars to advance. So you said the Knicks were a bad team. What about the number 1 seed Sixers? Were they a bad team last year? Chris, this is for you.
They were a broken team.
Now they're broken.
They were a broken team.
So they were broken. So they got to be broken team as the number 1 seed in the East, but they were broken.
What happened in Game 7 in that series?
They lost.
Clearly.
They lost.
Yeah. What did Trae do in that?
Atlanta was not a good team last year.
But they're not
they
a
were
good.
14.
But hold on, I'm just trying to figure out. Now I can see if they won 1 game, if they had done what they did to Milwaukee, they beat Milwaukee 1 game and they advanced. But how do you say they got lucky 4 times? How do you get lucky 4 times? How do you hit 4 Ja Morant shots? How do you hit win 4 games where you hit last-second free throws? I mean, don't you have to be the better team to beat somebody 4 times? And that's what we say about a series. Someone that beats you 4 out of 7, they have to be the better team because you can't get lucky 4 times, can you? All I'm saying is this. Who picked them? So if Ja is overrated, what are we talking about up in Brooklyn? Because who picked Atlanta to beat the Miami Heat? Okay, you say you heard all these people saying Ja was this, Ja was that. Did you hear anybody pick the Atlanta Hawks to beat Trae? Did you hear anybody pick the Hawks to beat the Miami Heat?
No.
Okay, how many people?
But nobody picked Trae to shoot 29% either.
Okay, but let me.
I mean, that's what we got to do. We're 16% from 3.
I'm glad you did that. How many people picked the Brooklyn Nets to beat the Boston Celtics? And what we gonna do about that guy that missed 50 shots?
Okay, this isn't about him. We did him. We put him to rest.
When you basically,
I got an answer though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got an answer for you, Shannon. Here's the thing: Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving's track record is much deeper than Trae's. Trae's got 1 year of a track record. Yeah, and again, I think he's a star like you. I'm saying for those that have called him a superstar.
No.
But I'm saying his track record isn't deep enough for us to just brush this off as, oh, it's no big deal.
But let me ask you
do more.
Let me ask you a question. At the same point in time in their career, what were you saying about Kyrie Irving? Because he hadn't even sniffed the playoffs. At least Trae Young has gotten his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. When you say Kyrie's track record with who? Kyrie's track record alone, or Kyrie's track record with LeBron James? Now, you do remember in his first 3 years, how was KD in his first 3 years? Did he get his team to the Western Conference Finals? See, I think the thing is that we're looking at today's guys, Kyrie and KD, in today's lens. We got to look back then in year 3, in year 4. Where were they at then?
Mr. Broussard, I think Mr. Sharp across from me is practicing some revisionist history here, because I can't tell you how many mornings I had to come in and deal with him across from me saying, it's ice Trae, he's doing it again. And I'm saying, yeah, he's just shivering cold because he's just colder than ice. And I call him Maestre because he's just too little. And again, you're right, Chris. There's a difference between star and superstar.
Absolutely.
But most people go superstar. He's got next.
No.
He don't got next.
he doesn't.
I'm sorry. He's too little. He takes too many threes, especially the logo variety, and he turns it over way too many times because, once again, he led the NBA in turnovers. Yes. And as we speak, he is leading the postseason in turnovers. He had 30 against Miami with 30 assists. 30 for 30. It works for documentaries. It doesn't work for basketball, right? I'm sorry. He shot 18% from 3 in 5 games against the Heat. That's awful. 7 of 38. It just won't work. And in the end, to your point, Chris, Kyle Lowry couldn't go in Game 4, and I'm like, I picked the Heat to win the East, and I'm thinking, this is no good. And when you start dealing with hamstrings, God only knows what could happen going forward. And then Jimmy Buckets, I say he turns into a playoff superstar, not during the regular season, but he is the driving force of this team. And all of a sudden, you replace them with Oladipo, and I like Victor a lot, but again, Gabe Vincent is in place of Jimmy Buckets last night. Trae Young has to say, I got this one. I'll figure this one out. Some way, somehow, I know I'm only about 5'11", because I don't think he's more than 5'11".
You keep shorting the man.
Okay, I don't know what he is, but he looks like he's 5'11", and he plays skinny to me. To Chris's point, you need some. Chris Paul is 6 feet tall, but man, he's got some stature to him,
he got grown man strength.
Right, grown man strength. And again, Trae just plays little. He just plays little. He can't force the action. And when he gets cold, man, he gets colder than anybody I've ever seen. So I've been saying to Shannon, are you sure Atlanta should have taken Trae? It's a cultural fit.
Yeah.
Like Luka was a cultural fit in Dallas. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. You're right. But basketball fit?
No, Luka's the better player.
My God.
Luka's the way better player. I'm not, Go ahead, Chris.
Well, look, again, I think if Trae looks at this the right way, this can be a great thing for him. Remember, what did Michael Jordan say after Detroit kept beating him up and eliminating him from the playoffs? I got to get stronger. I'm not strong enough. And I think there's a lot of players in the league that work hard, and I'm sure Trae's one of them.
Yes.
But they work hard on what they want to work on, right? They keep working all the time on their handle, on their three-point shot. But they don't work on the things that they're not good at. And Trae may not want to go in the weight room. I don't know and get strong, but he needs to get stronger.
Yep.
Because the playoffs, we saw it with Brooklyn and Boston. They're going to let you be more physical. Yeah. And that's where he's going to have his issues. So this could be good for him if he takes it the right way.
Y'all talking about Atlanta
Chris,
like Atlanta.
thanks so much for joining us. Great to see you as always. Coming up next, guys, it's a good one. Should the Grizzlies be encouraged or discouraged after last night's wild comeback? Stick around. That's going to be a great topic.
No mercy.